This interview is being brought to you by BabyFightGear.com. Baby Fight Gear is dedicated to providing a single source for children's mixed martial arts. Inspired clothing, the softer side of tough sports. Our clothing is available in sizes newborn to toddler.
Yeah, how you guys doing?
We're doing awesome. So you finally got the call to the big show. How did that all go down?
It was kind of weird, I signed with the UFC, or I actually got the offer to fight for the UFC on July 20th, which is on Thursday. But the Monday before that Thursday, my manager went on Twitter and kind of stated that, because I guess I just signed Jasir De Silva, and he went on there and said that if they needed an opponent, I would fight Jasir. So people kind of took it as I was going to fight Jasir, and so it's kind of weird. So people were there was rumor I was going to fight Jasir, but it was never true. And then when Ian got hurt and he pulled out that Thursday, which was the 20th, they called me and said, you want to take the fight? And I was like, yeah, when is it? They go, well, it's in like 10 days. I was like, oh, man.
Wow.
When they call, you pretty much, got to answer the phone.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. Okay, so for anyone that didn't get to watch the fight, and most fans did, just talk about the fight with John at UFC on Fox 4.
Well, I haven't seen it yet. I just remember bits and pieces from the fight. I remember we changed a couple leg kicks, and then we had, I don't know if we both shot in or if something happened, but I remember we collided heads, and I had a cut on top of my head. And then, he caught me with a hook that stung me pretty good, and I shot in. And then I guess we got kind of by the fence, and then we broke away somehow. I think he threw a head kick, and I blocked it. And he was, I'm assuming it was a hook because it was on the right side of my face. I don't know. I didn't see it. Couldn't really see that well. He hit me with something. The next thing I know, I'm in the middle of the cage, and, I'm like, oh, I guess he must have won because I don't remember anything else after that.
Oh, wow, man. Joe Rogan, for instance, is always talking about octagon jitters for new guys making their debut in the UFC. Did you feel the octagon jitters pre-fight?
No, not really. Maybe that's probably why I lost. I didn't really feel like I was nervous going into the fight. But, I kind of didn't really have enough time to be nervous. Just because for the simple fact I took the fight on such short notice.
Sure.
That it was kind of like train. I pretty much just had to train, and all my energy went into training and trying to recover from the next training session. So I didn't have those jitters as opposed to like if I would have took the fight, like on in a whole 8-week camp or whatever it be, then I would it would dial on me more. But I didn't really get a chance to think about it because the fight was literally a couple of days away.
Are you expecting another fight with the UFC, or was this one and done?
No. I signed a 4-fight contract with them.
Okay.
And, and then right after the fight, I guess right after the fight, someone from the UFC told one of my trainers that I wasn't going to get cut, And then the next day I saw Sean Shelby. We were in the airport, we were talking for a little bit, and, he told me that, he mentioned there was a couple guys that he wanted me to fight. And just to let him know whenever I'm ready, because I'm still suspended from the commission because of the cut, because it was a knockout. So he said, just whenever I'm ready, I get everything squared away with them to let them know, and they'll give me more than enough time to get ready for my next fight.
While you were telling that story, the feed cut out for just a second. So just at the beginning, you said somebody told one of your cornermen that you were getting cut?
No. I guess after the fight, I was kind of out of it. I only remember bits and pieces. I remember, looking up, and I remember them announcing the winner, and I remember thinking, I have to shake his hand, no matter what, how upset I am, I gotta, he beat me fair and square, and I gotta show him that respect. And then somehow we were walking, and I don't know if they told me directly or if they told one of my cornermen, but they told him that don't worry, I'm going to be back, I'm not going to get cut, regardless of the outcome, not to worry about it.
Oh, okay, cool, man, cool. What do you think the biggest difference is between fighting on a regular, independent fighting show and fighting for the UFC? If you could single out one thing.
Obviously it's a bigger venue, so you get more eyes watching. You know, you get more people. You get more fan attention. I remember when I was at the UFC Fan Expo that they just had in July. I was walking around, and I'm like, some people have me ranked, in the top 10 at 125.
Sure.
It all depends on, any given day, anybody can beat anybody. Well, I was walking around, and I had one person recognize me in the whole venue.
Wow.
And I was, so I kind of felt a little irrelevant. Well, I guess I'm about the UFC, and it goes from from not, really being recognized or having people hit you up for interviews to, like, I was doing an interview every single day, whether it's in English or Spanish, sometimes twice a day. When we were in L.A., I was walking around the mall, killing time, and people were stopping me, asking for pictures and this and that. So it's just kind of weird, you go from, like, being, relatively unknown only to the hardcore fans to now, like, you're like, oh, man, like, you kind of made it, but not really yet.
Have you ever had an issue with cutting the weight?
Actually, I've had, yeah. I've had major issues with cutting weight. When I fought Ramba, I missed weight, actually. I was like 127 or something like that, and I had to be 126. And I couldn't cut the last pound. I cut like 12 pounds that day. I just totally didn't do what I was supposed to, And then, I've actually had trouble cutting weight, at 25. I kind of got down a little better. I made weight for this fight. It was a little tough because of the short notice, But I made weight. I felt fine, going into the fight, so the weight cut wasn't an issue. It was just, John was just a better guy that day,
And we talked to a lot of fighters, and I'd say 95% of fighters say cutting weight is the worst part about being a MMA fighter. Would you agree with that?
Well, I think one of the reasons why is, if you look at it, like, if you do, like, a camp, whether it be 6 weeks, however long, the camp is, you can learn a move, like, like a combination and striking, or, like, maybe like a new sweep as far as jiu-jitsu. You can learn it and implement it that day and be like, man, you can see, like results instantly. Well, when you're dieting, you don't see the results till you weigh in 6 weeks, 8 weeks, however long it is. So you're like, well, you know what? I'll just eat back today. Oh, well, you know what? I'll just start my diet on Monday. So you kind of like, it's that delayed gratification that kind of messes with a lot of people, And you are depriving yourself, and nobody really actually deprives themselves. So yeah, the cutting weight does suck, But for me, I've noticed that that's one of the reasons why it was always tough for me, Especially like if I go out to dinner with my family, like, if we go to Buffalo Wild Wings and they're eating something else, I'm like, man, I can't eat that,
Yeah.
So, you're kind of like, you're there, but you're not there. So that was a little tough for me. But now that I'm actually a vegetarian now, so that's kind of been, helped with the weight cuts a lot.
Hey, man, any sponsors you'd like to thank or promote your Twitter or Facebook?
Yeah, if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, it's Ulysses Gomez. On Facebook, just Google my name, You can check me on my website. My website's Ulysses Gomez as well. I'm actually doing this thing. One of my coworkers, her husband, he works at. I have people don't know this, but I have a regular job. Like, I'm not a guy that just trains full time. Like, I work,
Sure.
25, 30 hours a week. I just got off work right now, And one of my coworkers, her husband, actually got diagnosed with cancer. He has lymphatic colon and something else. I forget what the other one is, but because of his position at his work, he can't get insurance. He's a seasonal employee, so he has to pay for all the treatment himself. So I actually, not the shorts I wore to my fight, but I had the UFC makes you have 2 pairs of shorts. So the shorts I wore in the fight were all white. The second shorts I had were all black, and I asked the UFC if they could do me a favor, and they actually got everybody that was on the fight card that fought that night, from Shogun to Barrett to Machida to Bader, to John, to Jamie Varner to Lauzon. They all signed the fight shorts, and I'm actually going to raffle them off. Just it's $5 raffle ticket. If you want to buy one raffle ticket, it's $5. If you want to buy 100, however you want to do it, And we're just trying to raise up enough money for him so we could, so he can help pay for his treatment. So
that's awesome.
If you want all that information, just go to my website. It's Ulysses Gomez. So I figured, I lost my fight, but I could still do some good with a little bit of notoriety I have. So we're trying to raise up some money for him so he can, because hospitals are expensive.
Awesome, man. Thanks for doing this, and that's an awesome cause. We'll promote it on the website for sure. So, you still there, man?
Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
the feed just cut out again on us, but
Okay.
yeah, no problem. We're going to promote that for you for sure, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon, bro.
Yeah, man. I mean, you guys got my number now. Whatever you guys want, just give me a day or two notice, man. I'll definitely come by and show you guys. Are definitely nice guys, so I like to help people out to help me out.
Awesome, man. Talk to you soon.
All right, buddy.